This is Owen Gelber, Penn State class of 2026. Enjoy my broadcasting reel.
Live here at Pegula Ice Arena. As you can tell behind me, the ice has been removed for the offseason as Penn State's Cinderella run has come to an end. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbow for the Nittany Lions, starting their first 9 games in the Big Ten 0-9, but Penn State took the criticism and ran with it, or skated to be exact.
Although this team right behind me will be in St. Louis come time Thursday, doors here at Pegula Ice Arena will be open free of charge for fans and spectators trying to catch a glimpse of Penn State's first ever Frozen Four appearance. Parking lots open here tomorrow at 8 a.m. with kickoff scheduled for 2 p.m. There's plenty of steel here still exposed behind me, but as James Franklin says, iron sharpens iron, and the next football season starts now. I'm Owen Gelber at Beaver Stadium. Now back to you in the studio.
Live inside the PPL Center, home of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Philadelphia Flyers AHL affiliate, and the 2025 Allentown Regionals, part of the NCAA tournament. First game begins tonight at 5 p.m. between Quinnipiac and UConn, and following that, Penn State takes on Maine for their first ever meeting. Maine's head coach Ben Barr discussed the hostile environment he expects to face, being only 2.5 hours away from Penn State's campus. Game starts at 8 p.m. for Penn State, 5 o'clock for UConn. Winner moves on to play in the Sunday Championship, and the winner moves on to the St. Louis Frozen Four. Back to you in the studio. I'm Owen Gelber for the Center County Report.
Winning, and winning big, is the standard here. As we reach the end of February, Penn State remains a perfect unbeaten and clinched yet another Big Ten championship. Penn State now has their eyes set on making history with their third four-peat national championship in just 14 years.
The hype is building for Penn State's first ever appearance in the Frozen Four hockey tournament. That's next. And we look at what's been a year of winning for the Nittany Lions, from national championships to other sports success. I'm Owen Gelber with sports. Penn State hockey is now getting ready for its first ever appearance in the Frozen Four next week in St. Louis. The Nittany Lions survived overtime in the regional final thanks to this Matt DeMarsico snipe off a sick behind-the-back feed from freshman Charlie Serrato. Penn State took down Maine and UConn in the Allentown bracket and moves on to face Boston University next week. Coach Guy Godowski says the team embraced the underdog role.
And I don't think anybody gave us a chance, but the guys believed in the locker room and they did a great job. And when we got to the regional, the support from the Penn Staters was just incredible. The atmosphere was awesome. Our student section, who is such a big part of what we do, was there in full force and was a really big part of the wins that we had.
And spring practice rolls on for the football team as players try to work their way up the depth chart. Some new faces are joining the returning players and staff as the team works through drills at the Lash Complex. Coach James Franklin also said this week that he's impressed with new defensive coordinator Jim Knowles and his coaching style. Spring practice wraps up with the blue and white game scheduled on April 26th. It's been quite the year for Penn State athletics under athletic director Pat Kraft. From national championships to deep postseason runs, and the story of volleyball coach Katie Schumacher-Cawley, who led her team to a title while fighting cancer. The 2024-2025 academic year has been one to remember for Penn State athletics.
As of last week, we had 10 teams ranked at top 25.
Penn State women's volleyball started the national championship trend for the Nittany Lions, taking down Louisville in their home city after upsetting Nebraska in the semifinals. Over on the mat, Penn State wrestling took care of business, securing their 4th straight national championship and 12th total under head coach Cale Sanderson. Graduate student-athlete Carter Starachi set an NCAA record with his 5th consecutive individual national championship. On the gridiron, the Penn State football team made a deep playoff run and appeared in the Big Ten championship game. The team dominated SMU inside Beaver Stadium in the first round of the college football playoffs, then defeated Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl before falling short to Notre Dame in the final moments of the Orange Bowl in Miami. Hockey has kept Penn State in national headlines, with the women's team winning their division, the AHA, and the men's team set to face off against Boston University next Thursday for their first ever Frozen Four appearance.
For them to keep belief in that locker room and then to help them grow as players, develop as players, and then for this team to come together and rally the way it did in the second half is the best coaching job I have ever seen.
Stay tuned for all of our coverage of the Frozen Four from St. Louis.
Start your engines, State College. The Hot Wheels monster trucks are in town this weekend. The theme is glow and fire. Fans can come out to enjoy some epic stunts, jumps, and lots of loud trucks. The shows feature monster trucks like Mega Rex, Tiger Shark, Bone Shaker, Bigfoot, and more. The events are tomorrow and Sunday at the Bryce Jordan Center. That's all for sports. Back to you, Francie and Hannah.
As another school year soon comes to an end, the construction at Beaver Stadium continues on. Crews are working on the $700 million renovation at Beaver Stadium, expected to be finished in 2027. One of the more visible signs, temporary bleachers going up on the west side, where seats in the press box used to be. The annual blue-white game will look a lot different for fans, as many will get their first look inside the stadium's construction project.
The experience is already crazy. We can feel how all the acoustics bounce off each other. It gets so loud, especially like the whiteout game. It's insane. But we're at a few thousand seats in here, so it's only going to get louder.
Crews broke ground on the renovation in late last fall with the goal of enhancing Beaver Stadium's fan experience, modernizing facilities, and constructing new premium seating options. Winterized plumbing and heating are two major improvements, allowing Beaver Stadium to operate in the colder months to host NCAA playoff football games and potential outdoor events. The press box was demolished in early January, and because of that west side construction, seating will be limited to the north, east, and south sections of the stadium for blue-white. Entry into the game is free, but all fans are required to enter through Gate A or E starting at 12:30 p.m. Starting at 10 a.m., the annual Blue-White Block Party will begin outside with food and drink options available for purchase. And at 11:35, select Nittany Lion players will be available around the stadium to sign autographs and meet fans. Penn State Athletic Director Pat Kraft has said the stadium project isn't just for football, but rather one that will impact all 31 sports teams at Penn State and the entire campus community.
I think a lot of people wrote us off.
The Penn State men's hockey team came into this season unranked, then dropped 9 of its first Big Ten games, but in the locker room, they never lost hope. In late January, the team was ranked dead last in the conference, and a bid to the NCAA tournament seemed impossible. But Coach Guy Gadowski knew the talent and potential his team had and turned the impossible into a run for the ages. The Nittany Lions finished the final 22 games with a 15-4-3 record, making them the hottest team in college hockey.
For them to keep belief in that locker room and then to help them grow as players, develop as players, and then for this team to come together and rally the way it did in the second half is the best coaching job I have ever seen.
Arseny Sergeyev's stellar netminding, along with Aiden Fink's Hobie Baker finalist campaign, helped fuel the Nittany Lions' run. There were other key contributors, though. Entering St. Louis, J.J. Weebush and Charlie Serrato both accounted for over 30 points on the year. The line of Weebush, Serrato, and DeMarsico went on to make history for Penn State, scoring the golden goal to punch their ticket to the Frozen Four in an overtime win against UConn. The team was then met by national powerhouse Boston University in the semifinals in St. Louis. The Terriers ended their season taking them down 3-1, but there's still plenty to be excited about looking ahead. Former Army defenseman and top 10 Hobie Baker finalist Matt Gadowski, the coach's son, just announced his commitment to Penn State. The team also picked up goalie Kevin Radler from Omaha after Arseny Sergeyev signed with the pros.
Thank you for watching. To see more of me, feel free to contact me at any of the accounts listed on your screen now.